So we'll just go ahead and move right on in to the presentation here. I think Rick set it up perfectly. The microbiome is simply no longer a trend. In fact, it's a movement. It's a movement that has really taken the industry by storm, and it's quickly established itself as a key category for future product development. So when we look at the whole skincare, the whole cosmetic industry as a whole, we have categories. You've got the skincare category, and within that category, you've got the natural market, you've got the clean market, you've got the anti-aging market. Well, the microbiome market has now become a well-established category within the whole industry. In fact, the Data Bridge Market Research, I just looked this up this morning, said that currently, or in 2021, the global skincare microbiome market was valued at $700 million and expected to grow at a 13.68% rate through 2029 to reach almost $2 billion. So there is significant growth in this market. And I would say that's probably lowballing the estimates on what the potential is for this market, because this really is a category that is unparalleled. Now, within the whole microbiome category itself, there were also some sub-trends that are interesting to watch. And as we go through this presentation, I think you'll see how we really meet all of those sub-trends in addition to providing unbelievable microbiome protection. One of the first trends within the microbiome skincare category is fermented ingredients. You know those from our lactobacillus ferment or our bifida ferment, lysate. Those are fermented ingredients, and we'll talk more about those in just a second. One of the second big trends, and we talk about this a lot on Tuesday nights, is barrier function. When the microbiome is imbalanced, when the skin is healthy, then the skin is able to stave off a wealth of things that could go wrong. UV exposure, pollution, oxidation, and all of that has to do with maintaining a healthy balance of the microbiome to really ensure that the skin barrier function is intact. So you've likely seen commercials now that talk a lot about skin barrier function and the importance of that. And then the third big key trend within the microbiome category is scalp care. Well, why scalp care? Because the scalp microbiome, like every other place on our body, has its own uniquely specific microbiome. And it's very different. We know that our underarms have a very different microbiome than our face. And our face has a very different microbiome than our scalp. But people are now considering scalp care an extension of skin care and not necessarily part of hair care, which makes, if you're going to be a company that represents the microbiome, then what better company to really dive into scalp care as one of the main trends than Truora, right? Well, the scalp microbiome is that community of microbes or flora that grow on the skin of the scalp. And in this habitat, a diverse mix of bacteria work together and each do their part to make sure that our scalp health is healthy. So when that balance is thrown off, a lot of things can happen, itching, dandruff, irritation. Think of it like we do with our facial microbiome. When that gets out of balance, then that's when things happen like eczema, psoriasis, acne, hormonal acne, any of those skin disorders. When our gut microbiome becomes unbalanced, that's when we have things like poor digestion, diarrhea, constipation. Well, when the scalp microbiome is out of balance, just the same as our gut microbiome and our facial microbiome, when it gets out of balance, then you're going to develop things like rashes and dandruff and itching and alopecia, hair loss, even more things that can result from an unbalanced scalp microbiome. Now, here are some interesting scalp facts that I think are very interesting. The average scalp has about 100,000 hairs growing on it at any given time. And the scalp is among the thickest skin on the entire body at 8 millimeters. And just a comparison, that's about that you can compare that to 0.6 millimeters for the eyelids. So that's pretty thick skin tissue on the scalp. But the microbiome of the scalp is different than anywhere else on the body because the scalp itself has a microbiome, and within each of the hair follicles, they each have their own unique microbiome. So there's a very complex system of microbes that need to be in balance on the scalp for the scalp and the hair to remain healthy. And what's very interesting is, because of the volume of sebum or oil that our hair follicles produce, combined with the high humidity, the scalp microbiome is completely different than the microbiome in anywhere else on the body. So it takes a unique set of ingredients to really address those. And like I said earlier, we're a skincare company that focuses on the health of the microbiome, and that brings us to our new product introduction. I'm so proud. Our new scalp and hair care line, featuring two amazing new products that I know you're going to love. Our Moisturizing Shampoo and our Moisturizing Conditioner. So I think that these are going to be a huge win for us. So let's just go in and talk about each one of them, dive into some of the things that make them so special and unique. And I'll tell you every reason that you're going to want to get your hands on these. So let's start off with the Moisturizing Shampoo. But before we get there, just like our skincare, we talk about the big three, right? Well, our shampoo, scalp care line, shampoo and conditioner, scalp and hair care line, there's also a big three. Number one, to support the health and balance of the scalp microbiome with pre and probiotic ingredients. And I think you'll be excited to see we've got some new, different, novel ingredients in these formulas that you're going to love. Number two, to restore the hair's optimal shine and hydration with deeply penetrating conditioning ingredients. And then lastly, repair and prevent damage associated with heat styling and environmental exposure. So just like we say, healthy skin is beautiful skin, well, healthy scalp equals healthy hair. So this is what this line is going to deliver for you. Now, jumping into the shampoo, I know you're absolutely going to love this. This is a sulfate-free shampoo. So it's going to gently cleanse the hair and scalp, but it's going to help maintain the hair and scalp natural moisture. We've got pre and probiotic ingredients in here that are going to restore natural hydration, a really unique fermented oil complex that we'll go into more explanation about, which contains 5 different sources of oil to deeply moisturize, enhance shine, help repair damage, and of course, they're pH balanced and safe for color treated hair. You'd use it just like you do any other shampoo. You saturate the hair with water, dispense a small amount of shampoo, and then massage it into the hair and, importantly, into the scalp. And then rinse thoroughly and repeat if necessary, and then follow with our amazing conditioner. So going into some of the key ingredients in this amazing shampoo, first of all, I think it's very important to know that this is an SLS or SLES free formula, meaning it's a sulfate-free formula. And it contains surfactants that are derived naturally from coconut. And these are the same surfactants we use in our body wash that we also use in our facial washes. It's all natural, and it cleanses without stripping the scalp and hair of natural oils. So that's a very important selling feature with this product. Second key ingredient in here is a fermented oil complex. Like I said, this fermented oil complex consists of 5 different sources of oil. You've got argan, green tea, Camilla seed, sunflower seed, and sweet almond seed. Now, the great thing about it is it has probiotic properties. It helps to reduce frizz, promote shine, prolong curls, moisturize, and help repair damaged hair. Now, let's go into some detail about this fermented oil complex. This is a really magic ingredient. I really want you to understand what all goes into creating this complex. First of all, we harvest these really exotic oils, and then we mix them with a bacteria or a microorganism. And then we start the fermentation process, and it ferments for 150 hours. And that's what really gives it all the gusto, all the activity. And then we distill it out, and then we're left with this amazing oil complex that delivers some amazing benefits. Now, breaking down each one of the key ingredients in this complex, our first oil is one of my very favorite, argan oil. Argan oil, there are so many companies out there. Josie Marin built an entire billion-dollar company with nothing but argan oil, starting with skincare, moving into hair care, body care. Argan oil has now become a staple, especially in the luxury hair care markets. One of the reasons is because of all the benefits and natural compounds that it contains: linolenic acid, oleic acid, vitamin E, and polyphenols. So it's very, very rich and luxurious oil. Now, the benefit of this oil in particular is it promotes hair growth. It's moisturizing, it reduces frizz, eliminates dandruff and dry scalp. It treats hair loss and provides UV protection. Just some fun facts about argan is it's grown in optimal conditions in Morocco. And it is such a highly valuable oil that only 1 liter is obtained from 7 trees. So it is quite a pricey, but quite a very favored oil for its amazing properties. The next oil that's in here is Camilla Seed Oil. Now, again, this is an oil that's rich in linolenic acid, oleic acid, vitamin E, and stearic acid, which is a great moisturizing fatty acid. The benefits of that is, again, you're going to have moisturization, antioxidant protection. It's going to help prevent split ends, increase the shine and smoothness, and help provide UV protection. When you think about it, our head is closest to the sun. Our scalp is closest to the first thing to be exposed to UV damage, and our hair really suffers from that. So the ingredients in here you'll see add up to really do protect from heat and UV exposure. Now, some facts about Camilla Seed Oil. It treats damage from split ends, perms, and colorants, so you can imagine it's very moisturizing. In fact, if you use a wooden comb with Camilla oil, it helps to stop split ends and reduce hair static. Just some fun facts for you. Now, the next key ingredient in here is green tea seed oil. Now, we all know the benefits of green tea when it comes to antioxidant protection. It's one of the best antioxidants out there. In fact, it's rich in catechin, tocopherol, which is vitamin E, oleic acid, and then omegas 3, 6, and 9. So it's a really, really robust fatty acid rich material. Now, the benefits of that, again, moisturizing, you can imagine, with all those omega acids. Antioxidant protection, of course, because that's what green tea does. Hair conditioning, and then promotes hair growth. Some facts about green tea. It prevents re-injury to the hair from heat and UV exposure. So you're seeing a story here. There's a lot of ingredients in here that are designed to protect not only from the elements, but also from styling and all of the rigorous styling tools that we put our hair through. Now, the next key ingredient in this formula is sunflower seed oil. Now, it's rich in linolenic acid, phytosterols, vitamin E, and polyphenols, which makes it an amazing conditioning formula. It's conditioning even for oily hair. It helps reduce frizz, and it also helps to promote hair growth. Now, some great facts about sunflower seed oil. It's been used by Native American tribes for skin and hair care for centuries. And they say that you can massage sunflower oil into the hair and scalp, and it will strengthen and promote hair growth. So again, another amazing ingredient for amazing benefits. And then lastly, we have another amazing ingredient, which is sweet almond oil. Now, sweet almond oil is one of those that's really high, not only in those omega acids, but also in minerals. It's a calcium-rich oil. It's got calcium, vitamin E, and then omega-6 fatty acids. The benefit of that is going to help you treat dandruff, help reduce hair loss, provide moisturization benefits, and then strengthen the hair itself. Almond oil promotes the repair of the hair cuticle. And we talked about the Native Americans with the sunflower seed oil. Well, with sweet almond oil, the ancient Egyptians used it to provide the hair with that bright sheen and silky texture. So again, these oils have been very valued for all of their nutrient-dense properties. Now, let's talk a little bit more about what makes them so special once they go through this whole fermentation process. So let's talk about how fermented ingredients really benefit the skin and scalp. First of all, they help to balance the skin microbiome. And the reason for that is because when it goes through this fermentation process, it's just like kimchi or, any of the fermented foods, yogurt. When you put something through the fermentation process, it produces probiotics. And these fermented ingredients help to balance the good and bad bacteria on the skin because of these probiotics. And they may also help improve the skin barrier function, which has been shown to reduce inflammatory reactions present in skin disorders. And again, there's a direct relationship to what we do for the microbiome as it relates to the skin barrier function. Anytime you reduce the inflammatory response in the skin, whether it's a scalp or whether it's the skin on your face or the body, you actually help repair the barrier function. So again, these probiotics in here really give it a lot of special properties. Next, when you ferment an oil like this, you actually create entirely new skincare ingredients. Fermentation creates molecules like peptides, lactic acid, hyaluronic acid, and also enhance the production of ceramides. And those are the lipids that really help the skin barrier function and helps the skin to retain moisture. Now, lactic acid is one of those really great ingredients you get from probiotics included into the skin and hair care. Lactic acid is a natural alpha hydroxy acid. And the one thing that makes this really great is it helps to slightly lower the pH of the skin. And that's where we know that sweet spot is for those microbes to really flourish and be most active. In addition, lactic acid also provides very gentle exfoliation. So that's a very important part of a healthy scalp as well, is using having the exfoliation benefits that naturally come with having these ingredients as part of your microbiome. Now, another thing that fermentation does is it increases the concentration of bioactive compounds. Now, there have been many studies that have done on this, and they've shown that ingredients actually become more powerful after they're fermented. And that leads to more benefits, more noticeable results, and it really greater anti-aging benefits for the skin. So any ingredient that's already great for the skin is going to be even better after it goes through this fermentation process. And then lastly, it increases the bioavailability of active ingredients. Now, the reason for this is, because when you ferment an ingredient, you reduce it down into its tiny molecular size. And that really aids in the penetration and the absorption of each of these ingredients. When the molecular size is small, they're able to be absorbed more effectively and deeper into the skin and the hair. Now, this process also enhances the antioxidant benefits and the protection of the oils, and encourages the growth of probiotics on the skin surface. So that's going to help maintain homeostasis or balance. So I think that's just something, when you're talking to clients and you're really, explaining all the things we do, these fermented ingredients are such a huge trend in the market. And not only do we use our probiotics, which are fermented ingredients, but now we have this oil complex, which really adds to the whole story and the allure of what we provide for our clients. Now, the next key ingredient in this formula is another really new and novel probiotic and prebiotic, oddly enough, called Ultramonas ferment extract. And it's an exopolysaccharide, which is derived from a marine bacteria from the French Polynesia. And it helps to restore the natural process of hydration by increasing hyaluronic acid in the skin. That has actually made this a very exciting new ingredient in today's formulations. And that also will help to improve barrier function. Again, anything that's going to add moisture like hyaluronic acid naturally in the skin, that's naturally going to improve barrier function. Let's go into a little more detail about this ingredient. Now, again, this is an ingredient that's fermented. So for all the benefits we talked about earlier, those apply to this amazing ingredient as well. And like I said, it's really gained a reputation in the industry for its water binding properties, which is going to help increase the intense hydration to the skin. So that, again, is one reason that I think you'll start seeing a lot more of this ingredient. It's an excellent skin conditioner. It's suitable for dry, damaged skin. But one thing I love about it is the anti-inflammatory benefits that it has. So it's really going to help soothe the skin. It's going to help neutralize, any exposure to UV exposure or pollution, anything that causes inflammation in the skin. So again, when you apply this topically, it really contributes to the repair of damaged skin, and it's going to form a shield on the skin to help dispel pollution, provide skin-soothing anti-inflammatory benefits, and help boost the benefits of the skin protection or the skin barrier. So again, all the way around, this is a huge win for us. And then, of course, the next ingredient in here, which you're going to be very familiar with, is our essential oil blend. So that signature scent that you love, that your clients love, that translates through our body care, through our facial skincare. It also now applies to our wonderful hair care line. And of course, those are the essential oils that are extracted from grapefruit, orange, tangerine, lemon, lycium, apple, and pomegranate. So again, it's a signature scent for Truora, and it just maintains that whole signature feel across our entire line. So I think that, again, it will smell familiar, but it's an entirely new formula that I know your clients are going to love. Now let's go into the conditioner and talk about what makes it so great. First key ingredient, or let's kind of summarize it first. This is a deep conditioning moisturizer that effectively penetrates the hair for deep, long-lasting hydration. It's formulated with pre and probiotics, of course, to help restore natural hydration. That amazing fermented oil complex, which has the 5 different sources of oil, and all natural conditioning agents to reduce hair damage and tangling while protecting the hair from oxidation and heat. And just like our shampoo, it's pH balanced, and it's also safe for color treated hair. Now, to use this after shampooing, apply the conditioner. Apply it mainly to the mid-lengths and the ends. And then you can rinse it immediately and go on your way, or you can leave it on 5 or more minutes while you're in the bath. Use it as a scalp mask. It makes an amazing moisturizing treatment for your scalp and your hair. And then you just rinse it away with warm water and you're good to go. So let's talk about all of the key ingredients in this that really make it so special. Again, we've got that fermented oil complex. Again, this complex is one you're really going to want to tout with your clients, because this really does add the luxury to this, as well as the effective activity that these fermented oils will bring. We've got that fermented pre and probiotic ingredient, Altramonas ferment extract. Again, there's another great fermented probiotic ingredient with prebiotic benefits as well. Which is really going to, help restore the natural process of hydration, because we do know that it increases hyaluronic acid production in the scalp and help improve the skin barrier function. And then the next ingredient in the conditioner, I don't put this in here because I expect you to ever say this word, because I certainly can't. But one thing that's to know, here's a good example of a very technical word that looks like that must not be a natural ingredient, when in fact it is a 100% natural conditioning ingredient, which is derived from rapeseed oil. And what that's going to do is really help comb through. It's going to help detangle the hair and provide anti-static benefits. So let's go into a little bit more about this ingredient as well. So where we have the fermented oil complex that have those 5 amazing fermented oils, this shampoo actually has 6 fermented oils, because this ingredient is derived from rapeseed oil, and it is 100% natural, derived from the fermentation of rapeseed oil. So, everything that you learned about the fermentation process, how it increases the activity, it increases the bioavailability, it reduces the molecular size to really more deeply penetrate the hair and scalp, all of that is really going to apply here. And the benefit to you is that it strengthens the hair to resist breakage, it smooths and defines the hair cuticle, and it's going to help condition damaged hair. So you're not only going to get benefits to the scalp, but also to the hair with this formula as well. Really, this is a really, really great conditioning agent. And then our next key ingredient in here is really a wonderful oil that's been used for a long time. It's one of my favorite oils. It's called Meadowfoam Seed Oil. And it's a cold-pressed triglyceride oil that deeply conditions by effectively penetrating the hair for deep repair, but also providing superior protection against heat and oxidation. This ingredient was specifically chosen for its ability to actually reverse damage associated with heat and styling. Meadowfoam seed oil, in the next slide, comes from a really beautiful plant, but it's unlike any other natural oil. It's a long-chain fatty acid, and it's used for deep conditioning and moisture. It's going to provide that luxurious feel, but it's non-greasy at all. So it's going to give you that wonderful slip and comb through without any oily residue. It effectively penetrates the hair for deeper repair. And the main reason is because it has such superior thermal and oxidative stability. So it's really going to help protect your hair no matter what you put it through. And the great thing about it is it's environmentally it's sustainable. It's ethically sourced, and it's 100% natural oil. So again, a really great ingredient to include with all of these other amazing ingredients that are in this formula. And then the next key ingredient in this formula is our essential oil blend. So it's again those great essential oils that are derived from grapefruit, orange, tangerine, lemon, lycium, apple, and pomegranate to give that great signature scent. So anybody who currently loves the smell of our skincare and body care, they're going to naturally gravitate to this as well. So those are our new moisturizing shampoo and moisturizing conditioner. I know you're going to want to get your hands on those.